the data which was given is divided equally into two parts. So the first half average and the second half average. So the two averages have to be plotted on the graph, and those two points are joined together, and we have a trend line. Is the PPT visible, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the third method, moving average method. So in this moving average method, we are going to deal with the averages. That is, here we have to take the mean of the values which was given, and this was based on the certain time period. This time span can be of 3 years, 4 years, 5, 6. That is depend on the data which was given and maybe our interest. For example, if the years was given, that is so many years will be on the problem or in the numericals, or we can have the data for so many years.
எங்கடா போன ஸ்கூலுக்கு போனியா
Can you mute? Okay, so we are having so many years in the problem data which contains so many years. So on that category, on that area, this will be very useful. That is moving average method, which is used to calculating the trend, will be useful while we are having a large set of data. So this can be calculated for 3 years, 4 years, 5, or this is up to us, or based on the set of data which we are selected, or maybe based on our interest. So the procedure, how to do this moving average method. First, you have to decide the time span, the time period. Maybe it's for 3 years or 4 or 5. So we have to decide the time span first. And in case of odd years, normally it starts from 3 years, because if it is divided equally for 2 means that comes under the semi-average. So this starts from the 3 years. 3 years. So if it is on the odd numbers means 3, 5, 7. Like odd numbers means. So this is the procedure to calculate the averages. So ABC refers to the first year, second year, third year, and the average of first 3 years. A plus B plus C by 3. So this total have to be returned in the middle of the 3 years. So that is on the second year. Likewise, this is the first set. Likewise, the second set average, which contains the second year, third and fourth, B, C, D, 2, 3, 4 by 3. So the second set average have to be calculated. Likewise, the third set, that is third year, fourth year, fifth year, 3, 4, 5, C, D, E. Likewise, we have to calculate the 3 years total and the 3 years average for all the data which was given. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So in this case of odd years, there will be no problem of centering, because those are odd years. So the center single year will be available. So you have to write on that particular in between the middle year. So if it is in the case of 4 years, start from 4, 6, 8 years means even years means, then the averages should be like this: A plus B plus C plus D by 4. First 4 years, 1, 2, 3, 4 divided by 4, and the average. Second set starts from the second year, 2, 3, 4, 5 by 4. Likewise, the third set starts from the third year, 3, 4, 5, 6 divided by 4. And here arises the problem where to write the total. If it is in between means, you have to write it in between the second year and regarding the first set. You have to write the total in between the second year and the third year. That is in between the numbers B and C, alphabets B and C. So in some cases it will be find difficult means you have to otherwise you can follow the process which is called as centering, the process of centering. That is how to calculate means the averages of the first two sets were taken, because in this first two sets it starts from D and ends in E. So 5 years are available. The first two sets average have to be calculated, and that single average have to be written in the middle of the year, that is on the place of C, third year. Likewise, the second set and the third set's average have to be calculated. That's from B to F. contains 5 years, B, C, D, E, F, 5 years. So that average have to be entered in the middle of the year, that is on the place of D. Is it clear? So this process is called as the process of centering. So if you are choosing some odd years means, then there will be no problem of centering. So there will be no process of calculating average again. But it is for even years means you have to calculate. If you need means, you can follow the process of centering. If you didn't find any difficulty writing the values in between the year B and C for even years, for B and C means that's up to you. If you have found difficult to plot the points means, then you can follow the process of centering. So in the process of centering, you have to get the average for the first average and the second average. So that will be for here in our example we are having 4 years. So while you are following the process of centering, in our example the middle year will be is the third year, that's on C. So the first 5 years average is what taken, and that should be written on the middle of the year, that is on the third year. So this is the thing which we have to calculate the moving average method. And here you are having the example. In this you are already given the year and the sales. The year starts from 1980 and ends in 1989. So 10 years were given, and the sales also was given. That is like 3 million rupees, 4 million rupees for the concerned years. So the question is asked to calculate the 3-yearly moving average. So the first set includes the first 3 years, that is 1980, 81 and 82. So the concerned sales 3, 4, 8 are added together, and that total have to be written in the middle of the 3 years, that is on 1981. So the total of 15, 3 numbers 3, 4, 8, total is 15. So that is returned in the year 1981, and the average of 15. So 15 is the total of first 3 numbers. So 15 by 3 gives 5. So that should be on the line of the year 1981. Likewise, the second set have to be calculated from the second 3 numbers, that is starts from 2 to 4, 2, 3, 4, that is 4, 8 and 6. So the total is 18. So that should be written on the middle of the years which we taken. So we taken here 81, 82, 83. So the 18 should be on the middle, that is on the 82 year, that is on the it should be on the line where the year was in 1982. So the average of 18 is 6 by 3. We take the total of 3 numbers. So the average of 18 is equal to 3. Likewise, we have to calculate the 3 years total as well as 3-year average. So this is called as the moving average. That is, we are calculating the first set, second set, third. Likewise, so this is called as the moving averages. So the last total in the 3-yearly total, 36 is the total of last 3 years, 1987, 88 and 89. So that's the 36 is the total of 10, 14 and 12, and that should be returned in the middle of these 3 years, that is in the 1988. So the average of 36 is 12 by 3, 12. So you have to plot these averages, that is 3-yearly moving averages, which is in the loss column, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 and 12. So the years, the time period have to be on the x-axis, and the sales have to be on the y-axis. Years, time period have to be on the x, and the sales have to be on the y-axis, and you have to plot the points which starts from the year 1980. And leave the 1980, and you have to plot the point 5 in the year 1981. Likewise, in the year 1982, the point 6 have to be plotted. Likewise, it starts from 1980, and in the year 1981, the point 5 is plotted. Likewise, in the year 1982, the next point, 1983, it's 7 and 8, 9. Likewise, we are having we plotted the points on the concerned years till 1988, and we joined that dots. So that line is the that is the original line, which is called as the actual line. So we are having many ups and downs on the line, but altogether these cyclical movement, which carries some cyclical movement, is sloping upwards. So in between these points we are having a line, a linear line, straight line, which is called as the trend line, which shows the sales for the concerned years. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So this is the other example which contains for odd year, even years. So here also the data was given, years and the annual sales for the concerned years was given, and you are asked to calculate the 4 yearly moving averages. So for this 4 yearly moving average, you have to first calculate the first set of uh, total. So this contains the total is 156, which contains the first 4 years for the year 91, 92, 93 and 94. So the concerned sales are 36, 43, 43, 34. So 36 plus 43 plus 43 plus 34 is equal to 156, and that should be written in between of these 4 years. So that should be on the middle of the year 92 and 93. Likewise, the second set, which contains the sales of the years, starts from 92 to 95. So 43, 43, 34 and 44. So these years 92 to 95, the total have to be right in between of the year 93 and 94. So 164 is the total of the second set, and which is returned in between the year 93 and 94. Likewise, we have to calculate the 4 yearly total for all the data which was given. And while you are plotting the points on the graph, in some cases you will find some difficult how to plot in between the years. If you think so, means then you can go for the process of centering. So the process of centering is nothing but the average of the first two set, average of the second and third, average of the 3 and 4 likewise. So 156 plus 164. The averages of these two numbers are here, which was given, and that is called as the 4 yearly centered moving average. So that is 40, which was given there. So that should be that should be written in middle of the 5 years, because 164 includes the year 1995 and 156 includes the year 1991. So this value refers to the first 5 years from 91 to 95. So this have to be returned in the middle of the year 1993. So if you want, means you can go for this process of centering. Otherwise, you can stop with the averages of 4 yearly moving averages. That is with 4 columns. The 2 columns was which was given already. The 2 columns data was given, and you have to calculate the third and the fourth column alone. Moving total, the years moving total and the years moving average. And if you found some difficulty in plotting the points, means then you can move to the fifth column, which says about the process of centering. If you want, means for even years, you can follow this process of centering and you can plot out the points at the particular year. Otherwise, you can plot the points in between the years. So this is the diagram for the above mentioned problem. So this is for 4 years moving average. So the actual line, here the actual line is for the year 1991, 36 was given. So for the year 1991, 36 was plotted as a actual data. So the blue line refers to the original data, actual data which was given, and the trend line, which is in black line. So we are having 4 red colored dots, which is the averages of the years, 4 yearly moving averages. So those 4 points are joined, and the line which joins these points, that is the original data, and the trend line more or less has the same shape. So here the actual data, it slightly increases and comes down. It shows the decreasing slope. Likewise, the trend line also, it slightly increases and slightly decreases from the maximum point. Likewise, you have to plot the averages which you found, and you have to plot the average which was given, that is which the total which was given. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay. So how should you do if it is for 5 years, means 5 yearly moving average? The same procedure have to be done. That is here in this point 2 procedure, the 3 years, how to calculate the moving averages for 3 years was given. So if it is for 5 years, the second odd number starts from 3, means you have to calculate a plus b plus c plus d plus e divided by 5. Likewise, the second set b, c, d, e, f by 5. So you can calculate this moving average for any years, and that was based on the year, that was based on the data which you have taken or based on your interest. So otherwise, if you are asked to calculate for these many years, or otherwise if you are combinedly asked to calculate the moving average for odd year and also for the even year, means you have to do it for the same problem given. So this is the moving average method, which is the used to calculate the trend line under the time series. So that's the third method, moving average. Then coming to the next one, method of least square. So this is one of the important method. Yeah, I'm hearing some noise. Okay. So this least square method is the important method in time series. This method is which the trend line, how to fix the trend line. That is, we already discussed the line of best fit. That is from the geographical method. That is from the plotting points from the actual original data. Just we are having the trend line, straight line, linear line. So that is called as the line of best fit. So in this method of least square, just we are going to derive the trend line, which is called as the line of best fit, and this is the best method out of the 4. This is the best method for obtaining these trend values, and this is the mathematical method. And here it is the conditions were given. The sum of the deviations of the actual values of y and y bar, that is the estimated value from the variable y which was given, is 0. That is sigma y minus y bar is equal to 0. So this is the condition, and the sum, the square sum is the minimum value. So if these conditions are fulfilled, means then we have to go for the next step. So the condition is sigma y minus y bar is equal to 0, and sigma y minus y bar the whole square is the minimum value, is the least value. If it is so, means then we have to continue with the other process. If these conditions are not satisfied, means that is method, that variables is not applicable for this method of least square. So these are the conditions how to be followed. Sigma y minus y bar is equal to 0, and the sigma y minus y bar, this whole square, is the least. If these conditions are satisfied, means then we are going for the next one, the procedure. So here also we are going to fit a straight line, trend line, linear line, and the straight line equation is equal to, you all know, y is equal to a plus bx. On this a plus bx, y is equal to a plus bx, and the values y and x are the variables which was given, and a and b are the constants. So we have to find out the value for these a and b constants, and you have to apply these values, substitute these value on the straight line equation. So how to find out the constants a and b? So we are having two other equations to calculate the constants a and b. Just note down the formula, capital Y and capital X with small a and small b. The equation have to be like this. Don't put small x or small y, otherwise a capital A or capital B. And here we are having two equations to find out the value of the constants. So that is sigma y is equal to Na plus b into sigma x, and sigma xy is equal to a into sigma x plus B into sigma x square. Here the values in these two formulas, the values that is x and y, capital X and capital Y are the values which was given, and values of A and B have to be found out by using these formulas, and the alphabet n, small n, refers to the number of years, number of sales which was given in the problem. That is, it's not refers to the sum of the variable, it's just the number of items, number of years which was given. Is it clear? Yeah, okay. And already we discussed the two conditions. To satisfy these two conditions, we have to take the midpoint value as 0 for the time period. Here the x is the, in the formula y is equal to a plus bx, x is the time period. That is, we have to allot values. That's why I told that value was given. So we have to allot the values. We have to put the numbers for the time period. So it starts from the middle of the year. If it is on the odd numbers, means the middle of the year get the value of time period value of 0, and if it is even numbers, means the middle the thing is slightly different. I'll explain it. So the midpoint have to be 0, that is the time period starts from 0 on the midpoint. And when sigma x is equal to 0, the above two formulas, sigma y is equal to NA, and in the place of sigma x, 0 will be there. So the option is the option becomes 0. So A is equal to sigma y by n, nothing but the mean of the given value, mean of the variable y. So y bar, that is which is called as the y bar is equal to sigma y divided by n. So we are using the same thing for find out the value for the constant a, small a. Likewise, in the second formula, the first option will be 0 because the first thing contains sigma x. So a sigma x value is equal to 0 means a into 0, so that becomes 0. So b is equal to, small b is equal to sigma xy divided by sigma x square. So by using this and this x value or the time period which we are going to given for the years, and y is the value which was already given. So by knowing these values, we can find out the values for small a and small b, the constants, and we have to substitute these constant, the value of a and b, on the formula to get the straight line equation. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? What you told?
Yes,
Sigma
ma'am.
x equal to
Okay.
0 by taking the midpoint. I didn't.
Yeah, okay. I'll explain it. Because we are having two conditions. For this, we are taking this as a midpoint. I'll explain it a little bit later. Here we are having the examples. So given below are the data relating to the production of sugarcane in a district. So fit a straight line trend by the method of least squares and tabulate the trend values. Okay. So the problem was given. So here also we are having several years, starts from 2000 to 2006, and the production of sugarcane for those years was given as 40, 45, 46, 42, 47, 50 and 46. Yeah, okay. See the range of the variable which was given, that is the production. If you are join those points, means we'll get some up and downs. 40, 45, 46, it increases, again it decreases, increases, and again it decreases. So if you are if you plot this original actual data, means we will get some ups and downs on the line. So from that we have to plot the trend line, which is a linear one. Okay, so this was the thing which was given earlier, that is the in the numericals, in the problems. So year starts from 2000 to 2006, and the production of sugarcane starts from 40 to 46. So you have to rewrite the same thing here, and you have to find out the, you have to fix the value, you have to given the values for the time period. So for 2003, so this is the middle year. So here we are having 7 years. So 2003 is the middle year. So at that midpoint, we have to put 0 to satisfy the conditions sigma x is equal to 0. Sigma, that is on the year 2003, we put 0, and the above numbers you have to minus this 2003 year 2003 from the above and the below years. So it starts from 2000. So 2000 minus 2003. The heading of the column, it says capital X, the time period, is equal to small x minus 2003. Here small x refers to the year which was given. So 2000, for 2000 it is minus 3, 2000 minus 2003 is equal to minus 3. Likewise 2001 minus 2003, it's minus 2. 2002 minus 2003, it's minus 1, and we already put the value for the year mid-year 2003, so that's 0. So 2004 minus 2003 is equal to 1. Likewise 2006 minus 2003 is equal to 3. Likewise we have to assign the values for the time period. To satisfy the condition, we are putting the value 0 for the mid-year if it is the odd years means. And the next one is, from this we have to calculate the capital X square. Small x, the small x refers to the years which was given, and capital X is the time period which was given in the formula y is equal to a plus bx. That x is the capital X, that refers to the time period. So we already assigned some values for the time period for the given years. So the square of those time period values were how to calculate it. And here capital Y is the variable which was given, and x is the time period, and the product of x and y have to be calculated. We have to calculate these things to find out the values of the constants a and d, because on the formulas which is used to find out the values of the constants a and b, we have to find out the values of x squared, sigma, xy, all those things. So we are calculating this. Okay, so the same thing is here. So the same year, production, and the first 5 columns are here, and the total, the sum of all those 5 also calculated here in this slide. So n is equal to 7. That n, small n, in the formula refers to the number of years, number of variables which was given. So n is equal to 7. 7 years and 7 variables are there. So n is equal to 7. And sigma y is the sum of the variable y. So here it's 316, and sigma x is equal to 0. So this is the condition for arriving at this point. We are taking the 0 as the mid value. And x squared, sigma x squared is equal to 28, and sigma xy, you have to keep in mind we are having some negative signs too. So the positive numbers are added together and the negative numbers are added together, and the positive minus negative. So this gives the value of 29, and the value, while the sigma x is equal to 0, the value of a, small a, constant small a, is equal to sigma y by n. So the value of sigma y is equal to 316 divided by small n, the value is 7. So what is the value of a? It's 316 by 7 is equal to, what's the value of a? It's sigma y by n. Sigma y is equal to 316 and n is equal to 7. 316 by 7 is equal to
45.1.
45.2 or 45.14. Okay. So what's the value of the constant b? Sigma xy is equal to 29 and sigma x square is equal to 28. So 29 by 28 gives
1.03.
1.03. Okay. So the value of a is equal to 45.14 and the value of b, constant b, is equal to 1.03. And the straight line equation is y is equal to a plus bx. Just we are substituting the values of calculated constants a and b. y is equal to 45.14 plus 1.03x. Is it clear, guys? So
Yes, ma'am.
this okay, ma'am.
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pa. So this equation y is equal to 45.14 plus 1.03x. This is the trend line equation after calculating the values if the problems were given means in your written examinations. After calculating the values for the constants a and b, you have to substitute these values a and b on the straight line equation like this. If you are calculated the answer, if you have done the table correctly, if you have found all the values correctly and you are have the correct answer, get the correct answer for the constant a and b, but you forgot to apply, substitute these means your marks will be reduced. So because the question is asked to find out the trend equation, line of best fit. So you have to write this equation, y is equal to the value of a plus the value of b into x. Is it clear, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. Okay. Here we can find out the trend values for the years which was given. So the values which was already given as the production of sugar cane or the y variables which are called as the actual original values. So from this we have to calculate the trend values. So if you have plotted this actual values on a graph means you will get some up and downs. So you have to find out the trend values for the same data and you have to plot those points. Then you will get a straight line which is called as the trend line. So for having to calculate the trend lines, we are just substituting the time period in the place of x. So the trend line equation y is equal to 45.14 plus 1.03x. So in the place of x, the value of time period for the concern here have to be taken. So it starts from the year 2000. For the year 2000, the value was x value, capital X value was that is 2000 is small x and the -3 is the capital X value. So for the year 2000, in the place of capital X, you have to substitute the time period which was the assigned for the year 2000, that's -3. So 45.14 plus 1.03 into -3 gives 42.035. Is it clear, guys? So for the year 2000, the trend value which we calculated is 42.03. Likewise, for the year 2001, that is YT, T refers to the time period. And YT, that is for the 2001, the trend value was 43.071. Can you calculate the values for the year 2002, guys? For the year 2002, the time value, the time period, the capital X value, which we assigned is -1. So for the year 2002, it is 45.14 plus 1.03 into -1 is equal to
44.1.
44.1. Likewise, we have to calculate for the years which was given. So in the problem, it was given till 2006 from 2002. So we have to calculate the trend values from the year 2000 to 2006. So this is the table which we already discussed, and just we added one more column which carries the trend values of the given variables. So for the year 2000, it's 44.04. For the year 2001, here is the method of calculation. So for the year 2001, it's 43.07. For the year 2002, 44.11. Likewise, we have to calculate the trend values for the given years. So the production of sugar cane, which is already given in the problem, which is considered as the variable y, is the actual value, and the trend values which is be calculated, that is called as the values, and that makes the linear line. The original data doesn't make the linear line. The actual data it has some ups and downs, but the trend values, see the values starts from 42, 43, 44, 45, 46, 47, 48. So this is the trend line which slope upwards, which shows the production of sugarcane for the years are increasing, and for the future years also it is going to increase. If we are extended that line means, if it is predicted means, it is going to increase. Is it clear, guys? And you can compare the total of some of these values which was given the variable y, and we calculated the 10 values. Some of the total of these two is 316. In sometimes you will have some point differences, but the whole number will be similar. So here we are having the values for both as 316 each. Is it clear, guys? So the production of sugarcane which was given have to be plotted on the graph with the name of the actual value or the original value, and the 10 values which we calculated have to be plotted on the graph in the name of the trend line. And this trend line is a linear straight line with slope upwards. And this production of sugarcane, the actual value, original value, has some ups and downs. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear or not?
Ma'am, what if number of years is even?
Yeah, okay, I'll say. Yeah, okay.
Yes, ma'am.
This is for you, so you can practice at home. The same procedure have to be followed if the years are in the odd numbers means. If it is on the even numbers means, the average of the middle 2 years have to be taken. So in our example, it is 2016 and 2017. So the averages of these 2 years have to be taken. 2016 plus 2017 by 2. So the value will be 2016.5. So that can be the mid value. So the average have to be 2016.5. So you have to calculate, you have to make the difference from this 2016.5 to the given years. That is for the year 2014, the value will be capital X, time period value will be 2014 minus 2016.5. For the year 2015, 2015 minus 2016.5. For the year 2016, it's 2016 minus 2016.5. Next 2017 minus 2016.5. 2018 minus 2016.5. Likewise, you have to make a difference between the average which we calculated and the years which was given. So the middle years 2016 and 17 will get the values of minus 0.5 and plus 0.5. Is it clear? So for the year 2016, the capital X value is equal to 2016 minus 2016.5. So minus 0.5 for the year 2016 and plus 0.5 for the year 2017. That is 2017 minus 2016.5. And for 2015, it is minus 1.5. And for the year 2018, it is plus 1.5. For the year 2014, it is minus 2.5. And for the year 2019, it is plus 2.5. Is it clear, guys? So if it is on the odd numbers means the mid-year will get the value of 0, and that 0 is followed by the positive numbers, and the above numbers of the 0 will get the negative numbers. So you have to make the difference between the mid-year and the years which was given. This was for odd years. If it is even years means the average of the mid-year, the difference between the average of the mid-year and the given years have to be calculated. So for the odd years, the midpoint will get 0, and that was followed by positive below, and above we have some negative numbers, minus 1, minus 2, minus 3, minus 4 likewise. And here below we are having positive 1, 2, positive numbers like 1, 2, 3, 4. Likewise for the even numbers, the mid 2 years will get the minus 0.5 and plus 0.5. So plus 0.5 followed by the positive numbers, plus 1.5, plus 2.5, plus 3.5. Likewise the above numbers, minus 0.5, which is the above number is minus 1.5, minus 2.5, minus 3.5, likewise. But the procedure is the same thing. The fixing of the assigning value of the capital X is different for the odd and the even years. Is it clear?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, pa. Can you guys do this now? Are you guys ready to do? Otherwise, we can move to the next one. It's up to you. If you want means you can. Otherwise, you can do it afterwards, after the class got over. If you want to do it now or afterwards. But the procedure is the same thing. If it is in the odd numbers means you have to assign the value 0 for the mid-year, and that follows by positive numbers, and above it gets the negative numbers, and you have calculate the x square values and the product of x and y, and you have to calculate the values for wait a minute. So this was the thing which was given. You have to rewrite it as here, and you have to assign the values of time period capital X. Just note down, small x refers to the year, so you have to put capital X for the time period. So the equation capital Y is equal to a plus small b into capital X. So that capital X is here, that is assigned for time period. So you have to assign the values, you have to give the values for the time, and next thing the square value of the time, and also the product of x and y. Y was the variable which was given, and the capital X is the time period which we assigned. So the product of the time period x and the variable y which was given. So you have to calculate the product of x and y. So with these details, you have to calculate the constants a and b. After calculating the constants a and b, you have to substitute these values a and b on the straight line equation. So this equation here, y is equal to 45.14 plus 1.03x is called as the trend line. You have to write it here. You have to write the trend line equation, and then if the values, if the question asks to calculate the trend values for others means other years which was given in the problem means which was given in the numerical means, you have to calculate it. If the question doesn't ask for the trend values for other years means just stop with this trend equation. Just stop with this. If the question asks to find out the trend values for all years, and if it is asked to plot the graph means, then go for this. You have to calculate for the given years the trend values, you have to calculate it, and then you have to go for the tabular column which says about the trend values which you calculated. You have to add this column after the product of xy and go for the graphs. Okay, is it clear, guys? So this is the procedure to do the problem under the time series under the method of least square. Okay. Next thing is the regression analysis. So on the what's the time? What's the time, guys?
Ma'am, it's 12.
6 minutes more, ma'am.
Just a minute. Okay, regarding the attendance, I'm just insisting the same thing. You have to be here within 10 minutes. If you are here within 10 minutes means you will get the attendance for the whole hour. If you are leave the class in between or some other issues means you will not get the attendance for the year. And if you are joined after 12:45 means here it's 11:45. If you are joined after 11:45, 11:50 means you will not get attendance for this year. This hour. And some guys I see in the attendance list which I downloaded, I'll get the name of you that this student joined in the class at this time and he left the class on this time. So I'll get the list which contains your join time and your left time. So if you are joined after 20 minutes, 15 to 20 minutes means you will not get attendance for the hour. And if you have to be here for at least 45 minutes. Just a minute. Yeah, okay. And if you are joined after 11:50 means then you will not get attendance for this hour, and you have to be here at least 45 minutes. If you are listening or not, that's up to you. If you want means you can. Otherwise, you just log in and you can do your own way. You can go for on your own way. So you have to be here for 45 minutes. If it is means then you will get the attendance, and you are left in between means you will not get attendance for the year for this hour. Yeah, okay. So the next thing is I'll give the introduction for the regression analysis. Yeah, okay. Simple regression analysis, as I already told. Did you remember the flow chart which we discussed? Okay. Is the flow chart visible?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma'am. So under the statistical methods, just I told on that day itself, we are going to see the trend projection, the time series analysis, and on the econometric model, just we are going to see about the regression alone and the simple regression alone, not the multiple regression analysis, and not about the simultaneous equations, and the barometric methods. Because we are having short period of time, that's why just we distinct into only two methods. One is based on the time series. On the time series you are having the graphical method and the trend fitting, least square, and the moving averages, semi and the moving averages. As well as on the regression analysis we are having the multiple regression and the simple regression. So just we are going to stop with the simple regression alone. So in general this regression it says about the relationship between the two variables. So in the regression analysis, it says about the relationship between the two variables. So we are having the dependent variable and the independent variable. So the statistical technique of estimating the unknown value from the known value is called as the regression analysis. So the independent variable may be a single variable or two variable or more than two variables. So one dependent variable maybe depends or based on the many independent variables. So if it is like that means yeah, okay. So if a single dependent variable depends on the many independent variables, and in some cases a single dependent variable depends on a single independent variable. So here we take an example of, I took an example of the quantity demanded, which we already discussed, familiar with that. So I took this one. So QDX refers to the quantity demand of the commodity X is the function of Px, that is price of the X commodity, and the output of the commodity X, the advertisement, the cost which on spent on that sector, and the style, packaging, branding of the same commodity, and the price of the substitute or the complementary, the other similar commodities. X refers to the other commodities price, and the output refers to other commodities output, maybe the substitutes or the complementary commodities, and style, packaging, branding of those commodities, the income of the consumer, taste and preferences, and the elasticity, all those things taken place. So a single dependent variable may depends on many number of independent variables. So in that category there comes the multiple regression analysis, but we stick to the simple regression analysis which has only two variables. One is independent, the other one is the dependent variable. For example, the law of demand says the quantity demanded just depends on the price of that commodity alone, and we are ignoring all other factors. So on the law of demand, we had only two variables, the quantity demanded and the price of the particular commodity, that commodity. So the quantity demanded is equal to the function of the price. So in this case, this is called as the simple regression analysis. And in the first case, if the dependent variable lies on based on the many independent variables, means that comes under the multiple regression values. Is it clear, guys? Is it clear? Okay, pa. I think we can stop here and we can go to the numerical part in the next class tomorrow. Yeah, okay. Okay, guys, you can leave. Thank you. And in this class, we discussed the time series analysis, the moving and the least square method. And are you guys, I hope you guys get the better understanding of the time series analysis. Is it so? Regarding the graphical method, semi-average, moving average and the least square. If you are having any doubt in the analysis of time series, means we can discuss in the tomorrow class. If you are having doubt, means come with the doubts. We can discuss the doubts on the how to calculate it, the numerical part, how to calculate it, and we can move on to the next numerical part, the regression analysis. Okay, guys?
Yes, ma'am.
Okay, ma. Okay, pa. Okay, thank you, guys. You can leave now. Thank you.